In this video, I'm going to show you how to make some of the most delicious, tastiest apple crisp you've ever had. It's really easy, it's all from scratch, and it's really good. Howdy fellow foodie friends, welcome to Hoosier Daddy. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here, I do cooking videos, I do food reviews, I do food challenges, and tasting videos with my family. So if you like that kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Alright, so it is almost fall, one of my favorite times of the year. Partly because it's my birthday in October, but also it's a great time to enjoy the crisp, cool weather, to go out and look at the leaves, to enjoy some good food and some great desserts. And one of my favorite fall desserts is apple crisp, because it's apple season, all the apples are ripe, so great time to make some delicious apple crisp. If you want to know how to do it, let's get started. Alright, the first thing you're going to want to get is about 3 to 4 pounds of apples. Now I like to use Granny Smith. You can use whatever kind of apples you like to use for baking. You can use Jonna Gold or Wine Sap or Honeycrisp or Pink Ladies, but I like the green Granny Smith. They're a little tart, a little sour, but when you bake with them, they turn out really good. Just make sure you have a crispy apple and not a softer, more mealy one, because those will break down and they don't work real well when you're baking. But get your apples, and you want to get a 13 by 9 inch pan. That's what we're going to put the apple crisp in. And then I like to use this contraption. This thing is really, really cool. It will peel and slice and core your apple for you. You also want to have a little bowl or something to put all the peeling in. Now, if you don't have one of these contraptions, I will leave a link down in the description for you to get one. You can also do it by hand. It just takes a lot longer. But I'm really excited to show you how to use this. Okay, it's got a suction cup on the bottom right here. You might want to add a little water just to get a better seal. Stick it on the counter. Pull on this lever. There we go. And it's stuck to the counter. And you're going to take your apple. Make sure to pull this lever down. Put your apple centered right on this. You stab it. Make sure your stem is lined up with this hole right here. You're going to release this, and then all you do is you start cranking like this. And look at that, it starts peeling your apple for you. And it slices it and cores it. So then pull it off the end like this. We're not gonna use the top because it's got a little peeling on it. I'm gonna break off the bottom that has peeling on it. So look at that. You got it in slices. It's all peeled. Make sure there's no bad spots. You're gonna take a knife, cut it in half like this. So then look at that. You have a bunch of little apple slices. Isn't that fun? I love using this thing. Then you're gonna pull this back, and there's your core. We're just gonna throw that away. Take all of our peeling, throw that away, or you can save it and use it for something else if you want. And you just keep doing that with every apple until you fill up your casserole dish. So just turn. Sometimes you get a little bit of peeling on it. That doesn't hurt. But I always just pull the top and the bottom off. We're going to cut that in half. Cut that in half. And there's our apple slices. Look at that. Nice and thin, evenly sized apple slices. So we're going to keep doing that till we fill up that pan. All right, there you go. Once you have enough apples to fill your 13 by 9 inch pan, We're gonna dump them into a large mixing bowl, like that. And we're just gonna set that pan to the side. Then we're gonna add all of our flavorings to the apples. First thing you need is 3/4 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of brown sugar, and we're gonna do 6 tablespoons of flour.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're gonna do a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then just a half a teaspoon of allspice. This is a really powerful, potent spice, so you don't need very much. Half a teaspoon is plenty. A little bit goes a long way. If you want to stir that up by hand, you can get a spoon and stir it up. I like to put a lid on this and shake it up. That's the fun part. This is an old Tupperware bowl that's probably older than me, but as long as you got a good seal on it, you can just shake it. Okay. That looks good. That's the stuff. All right, once you have all of your apples evenly coated like that, you should see seasoning all over everything. We're gonna dump it into our 13 by 9 inch pan. So then you're gonna just spread that out, get it as flat as you can. There we go. You should still have a little bit of space between the top of the apples and the top of the pan, so we have room to put our crisp on. So now we're just gonna set this to the side and we're gonna make our crisp topping. All right, for our crisp topping, we're gonna start out with a cup of oats, just your old-fashioned oats or your quick oats, either one will work. Then we're gonna do a cup of flour. Then you're gonna add a cup of brown sugar. Make sure it's packed in real well. You can use white sugar if you want. I just prefer brown sugar because it's got a little bit more flavor. You're also gonna do a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and just a couple dashes of allspice. So like 1/4 teaspoon. And then you want to add 2 sticks of softened butter. Make sure it's softened. You don't want to use stuff out of the refrigerator. It'll be way too hard. It'll be a lot more difficult. If you don't have softened butter, you can warm it up in the microwave, but I find that that's still not as good. Just give yourself the time and let it come to room temperature. Then you get yourself a potato masher, or this is my nice little Pampered Chef masher that I use on meat and stuff, and you're just gonna mash this all up together. All right, once you get all that incorporated like that, you want it to have kind of a sandy texture, we're going to put it on top of our apples. All right, we just spread it out. It's gonna be in clumps. Just spread it out as good as you can. As evenly as you can. All right. Then make sure your hands are clean. And I just take my hands and I kind of spread it out, smash it out like that, and make it cover every inch. Just kind of break that butter apart a little with your fingers. So you want it to have kind of a crumbly looking texture over the whole thing. Try to cover up any big spots of apple that you see. You don't want to see big chunks of apple poking out. Little holes here and there is not a big deal. But you want to try to get it covered as evenly as possible. You can kind of pat it down like so. There you go. Should look like that. Now we're gonna put it in the oven. So we're putting this in the oven at 375 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. And keep an eye on it the last 5 minutes or so if you want to put it on broil to kind of make the top a little extra crispy. You can do that. Just don't walk away from it. You don't want to burn that top. I'll see you in 45 minutes. All right. Ah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh! I guess I shouldn't dip it towards the camera. Ah, I almost dumped that. Okay, there. Look at that. All right. Let's get some of this. Look at that. That looks and smells delicious. And you can't have apple crisp without a little ice cream. We're gonna put some ice cream right on top. Then if you really want to be fancy, you can put some caramel syrup on it too. Look at that. Okay, let's give this a taste. That ice cream is melting quickly. Itadakimasu. Oh my goodness. This is so good. If you've ever had a hot dessert with something cold on it, like ice cream, the contrast in temperature is so good. The apples, since they're cut thin, they're cooked perfectly. They're nice and soft, but they still maintain their structure. They're not mushy, and they're sweet. Even though I use Granny Smith, they're not super sour. All the sugar in it makes it sweet. You get that contrast of the crisp topping with the soft, crunchy apples, and then the ice cream and the caramel sauce. And then a little bit of cinnamon and allspice is coming through too. This is so good. So, if you decide to make this, leave me a comment below. Let me know how it turned out. I'm eager to know. If you've made this before, do you do anything differently? Make sure to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to follow me on social media. And I will see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.